Welcome to the Essential Oils Podcast, the podcast where we talk not only about essential oils, but natural health in general. And for those interested, how to build a wellness based business around it. I strongly believe that everyone should have the knowledge to be a health coach in their own home. And when you understand health better, you're more confident, you get less sick, and you rely less on doctors on popping pills. This podcast is dedicated to teaching and empowering others to be healers in their own home. And with the help of my wife, Nini, we hope to take you on a powerful journey of health discovery. Welcome to the show. What's up, guys? Happy Thursday. I'm up early in the morning. I'm getting ready to go to a 3-day health conference. I'm super excited. If you're watching on video too, I just shaved my beard after a year, so I feel I'm looking different. I'm feeling a little awkward, wondering is I don't know, do I like the old me back? What's gonna happen here? So it's kind of fun. Um, what I want to talk about today is stress, anxiety. Every Thursday, you guys know I'm very I have gone on this deep dive on essential oils, and so every week I like to bring on either guests who are very better, more familiar in it than I am, or have grown a business using it, or I like to just do a deep dive on some of the oils that I use a lot, and I see a lot of good effects with my own family. And so, one of the most common things that I see with all my clients and everybody, including myself, is stress, anxiety, and menopause. By the way, these some of these oils are really have been shown to be really effective for helping menopausal symptoms. And so, what I wanted to talk about today is I want to go into some of the oils and the components that might be useful for you and that you could use, and some of the studies that back it up, because that's where I always go is like, okay, well, this oil supposedly, people say they feel better, but like, what does the science really say? So that's where I like to geek out on some of this stuff. So today, I think, again, everybody I know is stressed, anxious. They have something going on with there. So let's talk about doTERRA has this blend of an oil. It's called Adaptive, and it has a couple oils in there that I really like. It's got wild orange, lavender, copaiba, which I talked about a week ago, spearmint, magnolia, rosemary, neroli, and sweet gum. Amazing, amazing, amazing blend. And let's go into some of the reasons why it is amazing and why it works. And by the way, when if you any of these oils, what you can do is you can diffuse or apply them on the bottoms of your feet if you're feeling like you're in a chaotic environment. A lot of the studies I'm going to talk about, actually what they did is they just diffused it or they inhaled it and they got a huge effect. And even when they measured brain waves on like an EKG, they were able to show this difference, and it was really just from inhalation. It wasn't even ingestion or application topically. It was actually just inhalation. So pretty neat to see like some of the effects that people were having. Essential oils, what these specifically have been shown to be great again for if you're having anxiety issues, you can apply to the back of the spine, the bottoms of the feet. For those that are having menopausal symptoms, on applying to the abdomen or reflex points along the ovaries or even the bottoms of the feet. And if you're someone that's got the compulsive, addictive overthinking, you can apply over the liver or the bottoms of the feet as well. So let's get into this blend specifically. It's called Adaptive Blend. Again, it has wild orange, lavender, copaiba, spearmint, magnolia, rosemary, neroli. Just on their own, if you were just to take one of those on your own, you would have amazing effects, and the scientific studies are already there. And some of these I've already talked about, like neroli, I did a deep dive on last week. But let's go over some of the studies. So they did a study showing citrus fragrance, aka the wild orange, versus fluoxetine, which was an antidepressant kind of medication. By the way, there was this huge like 30-year study showing that these antidepressants don't work at all. So uh, that wasn't me saying it. That was actually, I think, like the British Medical Journal or somebody like pretty high up, like saying a couple weeks ago, yeah, they actually show no effect. They don't work at all. But what they showed was from this study, they compared, hey, how does this work? Either a group of folks using wild orange to inhale it versus people using like depressive medication. What they found is that that the citrus fragrance had an effective antidepressant effect. And if they did 10 drops, it was 10 drops. That was the dosage. They actually tried 20 drops and it wasn't as effective, they found, which I don't know exactly why, but they found it was just as effective as someone that was doing some antidepressive medication. So that's kind of cool. Ambient odors. This is another study. I think this was from PubMed. It's entitled Ambient Odors of Orange and Lavender Reduce Anxiety and Improve Mood in a Dental Office. And so they found, again, that anxiety, mood, alert, all this, a lot of people have these issues when they go to the dentist office. And so a lot of these, just by inhaling it, it helped with the mood. They did a study showing, and it wasn't like a huge study, but it showed that it helped with anxiety, improved mood. They also did a study with nurses. And I work with a lot of first responders, a lot of nurses. They have stressful jobs, and they wanted to see how does aromatherapy affect relieving symptoms of stress within the job. And they found same thing. It was like, it wasn't, this study didn't show a ton. It wasn't a huge group of nurses, but again, they did, believe they used lavender. And what they saw is that if by inhaling it, there was more ease in the job. And when they did a poll before and after, they saw that nurses, they were less stressed basically, and their mood had improved. So that was that. Now here, let's get into some other cool stuff. This study is called The Effects of Lavender Oil Inhalation on Emotional States, Autonomic Nervous System, and Brain Electrical Activity. This is the stuff that I really like. Now, what it showed is that the results that lavender oil caused significant decreases in blood pressure, heart rate, skin temperature, indicated a decrease of the autonomic arousal. And then in terms of mood responses, the subjects in the lavender oil group categorize themselves as more active, fresher, relaxed than subjects inhaling just a base oil. That was the control group. Look at the EKG signs. Compared with the base oil, lavender oil increased the power of theta, that's an awesome state to be in when you think of just that relaxed, calming, meditative state. And alpha, that 8 to 13 hertz in brain activities. Alpha is great for learning. So really, really, really cool stuff. I love seeing stuff like that when you're measuring brainwave activities and seeing like what these oils can do. I thought that was really neat. Another study, smelling lavender and rosemary increased free radical scavenging activities and decreased cortisol level in saliva. Again, small study, but they took 22 healthy volunteers. They had them sniff this aroma for 5 minutes, and then they measured each subject's saliva directly afterwards. They collected it immediately, and guess what? They saw free radical scavenging activity and less cortisol. It was significant, they said in this study. So really neat to see just what rosemary and lavender can do. And then the last one I want to talk about, the effects of the inhalation of this essential oil of neroli on menopausal symptoms, stress, and estrogen in postmenopausal women. This was a randomized control study. And what they looked at was, they said systolic blood pressure was significantly lower in the group inhaling just 0.5% neroli than the control group. They compared with the control group. The two neroli groups showed significantly lower diastolic blood pressure and tended to improve their pulse rate and serum cortisol and estrogen concentrations. Really neat stuff. These findings indicate, it says, that inhalation of neroli oil helps relieve menopausal symptoms, increase sexual desire, and reduce blood pressure in postmenopausal women. Neroli oil may have potential as an effective intervention to reduce stress and improve the endocrine system. Amazing stuff. I mean, again, these are like published randomized control studies. Really, these are some in-depth studies. The population, the group that they're choosing isn't a ton. But I think, anecdotally, even people will say, yeah, I noticed these things. And now we have even some of the studies that back it up. They also did sweet gum was something that's found in this adaptive doTERRA blend that I really like. I wasn't too familiar with it. It has a lot of really good effects with wound healing, antifungal, antimicrobial, and it actually has been shown to be helpful. They used it in rats to help prevent ulcers, and even they thinking maybe some possible beneficial effects with epilepsy. They don't know yet, but really neat stuff. So I didn't even realize this about the whole sweet gum thing, which wasn't something I was familiar with. Anyways, I wanted to share some of these studies with you because I'm always interested in how oils can affect, how they can also bring more harmony into our life. And I think when you're looking at the pillars of health, mind, body, spirit, this is just one other way you can add, another tool you can add into your toolbox. And again, I think one of the biggest things that I see with a lot of my clients is parasympathetic tone, being in that rest and relaxed digest state. and they're not in it. And so you can use oils in a way to anchor that. And here's just some of the studies that prove that, hey, it's not just what people are saying and what this woo-woo stuff. We're actually seeing it when we look at some of these randomized control studies. So I hope this was helpful for you guys. This is a short one. Also, I want to announce, I forgot to announce at the beginning, if any of this interests you, you can go to www.joelevancoaching.com/teach me. And there's a 10-part course that you can take. And if it's awesome. It's on hormones, sleep, metabolism, pregnancy. You can go through this in-depth course. It's completely free. When you're done with the course, shoot me an email and I'm going to send you a free gift. So check that out. This was designed by one of my mentors who has been in the essential oil game for over 9 years and has 15 years of functional medicine experience. And it's really, really good. So definitely check that out. You don't want to miss it. Have an amazing rest of your week, guys. Can't wait to chat with you more.